Although some people may be led to believe that SUVs make driving safer, SUVs make driving much more dangerous for other drivers and the passengers inside the SUV because an SUV's stiff chassis and weak roof prevents the car from properly crumpling and decreasing the impact force in a crash. This also makes the SUV much more dangerous to people outside of the vehicle. SUVs are not the only options for Americans, however, as there are better options that are safer. Removing SUVs would benefit all of America by making roads safer for everyone. For instance, SUVs are classified as a light truck, which means that like a pickup truck, the chassis is stiffer and heavier to accommodate for heavier loads. Most people imagine the saying, bigger equals better. Despite being bigger, however, having a stiffer and heavier chassis will not make the SUV anywhere near safer than the average car, which is designed to crumple and distribute energy in a crash, unlike an SUV, where it acts like a battering ram and the person inside becomes a part of something called the crumple zone. Also, the high bumper of an SUV causes a problem called crash incompatibility. When two passenger cars crash into each other, their safety designs are linked up with each other and designed to work harmoniously together. This provides much more protection to the passenger in both vehicles. However, when a regular car crashes into an SUV, the bigger and higher vehicle doesn't line up with the regular car's safety features, which makes it a much more deadly and fatal crash. In addition to this, the SUV's higher bumper and higher ground clearance are more fatal to people outside the vehicle. When a person gets hit by a passenger vehicle, the person is possibly going to be thrown onto the hood and sustain lower torso and leg injuries, which is horrible, but doesn't necessarily mean it's fatal, especially at low speeds. However, the logic is that due to an SUV's higher bumper and higher ground clearance, a person outside the vehicle gets hit on the upper torso and is more susceptible to brain injury, even if the SUV is going at low speeds. It is also more likely that the person would be run over and crushed under a 4,000-pound behemoth of a vehicle, which couldn't be more obvious that this is a bad occurrence. On the other hand, opponents argue that SUVs are the best option for American families and Americans out there because of its heavier weight, in addition with common sense, makes an SUV safer than a passenger vehicle. However, the SUV's build, tall height, and heavy weight causes the vehicle to be more susceptible to rollovers and tipping. According to statistics in 2021, passengers in SUVs and trucks are more likely to sustain fatal injuries due to rollovers and crashes in general. To add on to this, data trends show that SUV deaths and crashes are on the rise. Thus, despite what opponents say, SUVs are a nuisance and an active hazard on roads, as they make driving more dangerous for other vehicles and the driver inside the SUV. This is due to the stiff frame and sheer size of the vehicle. Therefore, Americans and American families should opt for different vehicles suited for their needs, other than an SUV or truck, while being safer and less of a nuisance on the road. Thank you for listening to my speech.